You may remember a while back, I showed a video that was supposedly taken inside Bohemian Grove, of members from the Bohemian Club performing a strange ritual. It sparked my interest in secret societies and clubs, and their influence on the general public. One thing I have found is that most so-called secret societies do not let anyone know a whole lot about what their intentions are. But on the other hand, there are others who are more vocal with their beliefs, which is oftentimes even more worrying. Here are 5 of the strangest and most secretive societies to have ever been around. But remember, the real secret societies would never make it to a video like this because we would have no clue of their existence. Sit back and enjoy. The Freemasons. How could I not mention the Freemasons? You have probably heard of them before, as they are one of the oldest and largest non-religious, non-political organisations in the world, with an estimated 6 million members worldwide and a long and complicated history. The exact date of its creation or its founder is not known, although there are references to Masons as far back as 1390. Over the years, there have been many high-profile members, supposedly including Winston Churchill, George Washington, King Edward VI and VII, Buzz Aldrin, as well as the present Queen of England's husband, Prince Philip. Their meeting places are known as lodges, and there are thousands of them dotted around the world. Masons call each other brothers, and membership is restricted to men over the age of 21, who have some sort of faith, since atheists are not allowed to join. Although it's believed to just be men, it would seem there are currently 2 separate lodges for women. To become a Mason, you have to be recommended by a member, and it's believed candidates are required to participate in 2 highly secretive rituals of initiation, named Herodom of Kilwinning and Night of the Rosy Cross. These ceremonies are thought to include a noose that is supposed to represent an umbilical cord, and other acts involving dressing up and basically role-playing events. They also have secret handshakes, which date back to the group's creation, that was used to identify other members and their rank at which they held within the society. It all sounds very made up, but it isn't. There is no denying the Freemasons exist, and these rituals and meetings are going on all around you. But are their intentions bad? Well, the alleged corruption of Masonry is well documented and often covered up. In England alone, it's said that 500,000 Masons are disproportionately involved in banking, politics, policing and government, which is why it's long been thought that the Masons, along with the Illuminati, which we can get into later, have an agenda to take control over the general population, but there isn't really any evidence this is the case. The fact the Freemasons are so elusive and secretive, and have been for hundreds of years, would of course lead to all kinds of speculation as to the group's intentions, and this is why they've been given a bad name. But the fact is, we really do not know what they are up to. Although it's believed they are all about good morals. Unless you join, you will never know. But you just can't help but wonder, why would all these high-profile bankers, billionaires, politicians and celebrities dress up and perform these rituals and swear an oath to go to the grave with their secrets, and just what it's all about? The German Thule. The Thule Society was originally founded in 1911 as a German study group headed by a wounded World War I veteran. But when he moved to Munich in 1917, he was contacted by occultist Rudolf von Sebottendorf, and the 2 men joined forces to recruit, using the Thule Society as a cover name for his already established Munich Lodge of the Germanorden Wallwarte. The society, that met in secret, was to play a significant role in Hitler's rise to power. The Thule Society believed in Aryan tribes, natural purity, and the racial superiority. Sebottendorf violently opposed the Jews, and was obsessed at what he saw as the watering down of the German bloodlines caused by the introduction of non-Aryans, and his aim was to recruit men of noble lineage. The group needed an emblem, and adopted the swastika as a representation of everything it signified. They hid behind the pretense that it was for the academics who were interested in the Nordic sagas and the German myths, But these innocent agendas were hiding a much darker secret. It was their obsession with annihilating anyone who was not of true German roots. Tallying amongst the high-ranking officers who spoke at their meeting were Rudolf Hess and Adolf Hitler. As the society grew, so did its link to the newly formed political German Workers' Party, which would eventually become known as the Nazis, and it was Hitler that became one of its early members. The new party's beliefs closely mirrored the Thule Society, and when it was suggested that the German Workers' Party adopt the swastika as the party emblem, it was readily accepted. Both the Thule Society and Hitler and his henchmen worked on the means to which a whole race could be reborn, and it was alleged that it was Thule member Heinrich Himmler who came up with the notion of an entire country of blue-eyed blonde heroes. In 1933, Hitler assumed the role of Chancellor of Germany, realizing both the Thule Society and Himmler's dreams. But it was at this point that the Thule Society began to flounder, and Sebottendorf was ousted by his own members. However, the Thule Society's ideas were flourishing, and more frighteningly, being made law by Hitler and his Nazi party. And the rest is history. However, the truth is, it was the highly secretive far-right organisation, known as the Thule Party, and in particular Himmler, that set the wheels in motion for the ideology and ultimately the atrocities that became associated with Hitler and the Nazi Party. Order of the Nine Angels. Now this one is not as secretive as some of the others, but judging by some of their beliefs, it could be one of the deadliest. The Order of the Nine Angels is a satanic organisation that was formed in the UK in the 1960s, but now has various cells in other parts of the world. It was largely unheard of for many years, but suddenly attracted attention in the 1980s, when it was mentioned in various books that studied fascist Satanism, and has been described as one of the most extreme satanic groups in the world. The Order views Satanism as a crusade that aims to create self-superiority and knowledge by engaging in tests that allow a person to exceed his physical and mental limits. Some of these challenges involve spending months living rough in the woods without any human contact, or choosing particularly challenging and difficult jobs to develop leadership qualities and strong personalities. This in turn, they believe, will transform society members into a higher, more refined race. They also condone human sacrifice as a means of eliminating the weak, aiming to build a new tribal-based, more sinister way of life, and disrupt and ultimately overthrow normal society. If this wasn't bad enough, with everything that most of the rest of society would consider evil, such as terrorism, murder, internet trolling, gang activity, organised crime, incest, and ritual orgies, all to eliminate the mundanes, and they believe that Hitler was sent by their gods. It's hard to believe that groups like this exist in our modern society, and although their numbers are relatively small, they are out there. The Skull and Bones. The Secret Order of Skull and Bones originates and still exists at America's oldest university, Yale. It was co-founded in 1832 by Alphonso Taft, father of William Howard Taft, who served as the 27th President of the United States. Every year, 15 juniors are specially selected by seniors to become the next batch of members, who after initiation will gain lifetime membership and are known as Bonesmen. Students are typically chosen for their breeding and status in society, with former members including McGeorge Bundy, one of JFK's wise men, John Kerry, George W. Bush, Percy Rockefeller, and more recently, Austin Goolsbee. The list goes on and includes some of the most powerful and influential people in US history. The club's headquarters is known as the Tomb, and inside the rituals take place. Take a look at this footage that was caught showing an initiation ritual being performed, designed to scare the new members.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate.
It's alleged that Prescott Bush, George W. Bush's grandfather and fellow Bonesmen, robbed the grave of Apache chief Geronimo, took his skull and some personal relics, then brought them back to the tomb, and to this day they are still displayed in a glass case in the headquarters. Bonesmen swear an alliance to the Order and take part in a tell-all private induction, agreeing to give part of their estate to the club in return for the promise of lifelong financial stability. This is offered to ensure they won't be tempted to reveal the club's secrets. But what is the point of all this? Conspiracy theorists believe they are responsible for everything that goes wrong in the world, and the sole objective of this society is to get as many members as possible into positions of power. And if that's true, then it seems they have succeeded, as like I said, several former US presidents and high-profile figures were Bonesmen. And it's no coincidence that President Bush had 5 Bonesmen in his administration. However, no one really knows the truth, and cracking their code of secrecy is virtually impossible, which leads people to think they are hiding something massive, when in reality, it may be a lot less sinister than it seems. None of the members will talk about it or admit they are part of the society. The question is, what do you think is going on? The Illuminati. This video wouldn't be complete without the Illuminati. Initially formed in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt in Germany, as he was disillusioned with many of the Freemasons' ideas, which were spreading around Europe, the Illuminati was a real thing and isn't just a conspiracy. Adam's intention was to create a state of liberty and moral equality. However, it's thought the group was short-lived and split up in 1978, when it was considered a threat to religion and the monarchy. Over the years, it was speculated that the Illuminati had survived its suppression, and has now grown into the worldwide secret organisation we have all heard of, that is said to be in control of all global governments and is slowly introducing the New World Order, with the aim of gaining complete global control. It's closely entwined with Freemasonry, and the Masonic temples also serve as places where Illuminati teachings, scholarships and rituals are supposedly conducted. It's also believed many Masonic leaders are also part of the Illuminati. The Illuminati members are thought to work together to create world domination and a unified system that will benefit them, and members are said to include government officials, the elite and several high-profile celebrities, all of which control areas of our lives, including banking, local government and media, using different methods of trauma-based mind control to brainwash those lower-ranking people who work for them. To take things a step further, there are those who say the Illuminati are in control of literally everything, from currency to what we eat, to the music we listen to, that is used to brainwash and control people's impulses and thoughts. But what is with the triangle and the all-seeing eye everyone associates with the Illuminati? While the all-seeing eye of Horus represents the Illuminati watching over those who work for it at all times through various means, the 13 steps of the pyramid represent the 13 controlling families within the organisation, which are said to include the Rothschild bloodline, the Kennedy bloodline, and the Rockefeller bloodline. The Illuminati is a confusing and shady topic. Some believe it's still going, and along with the Freemasons, is looking to control the entire population. Others believe it's all just a conspiracy that has gone too far. One thing's for sure, you cannot find much out about them, which either adds to the secrecy or means there isn't much to find out. I need to cover this in more depth, but what do you think? Do you believe the Illuminati is still operational and trying to take over the world? So that's 5 secret societies that have either disappeared along with their secrets, or are still very much active. It makes you wonder, is there a lot more to this world than we think, and are our moves being orchestrated by a higher domain, as is suggested with some of these groups? I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I would love to hear your thoughts on these. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.